Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Paulsen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just to follow up a little bit on that, you know, a lot of time when we have a conversation on this issue, it's always being focused on the larger American job creators that are often the target, right, of these foreign takeovers or that are forced to relocate their headquarters just so they can remain competitive. And what often gets lost in that conversation, though, is the Main Street businesses and that concept and the ripple effect, the cascading effect. And I'm glad that we had some testimony. Mr. Wysick, you mentioned it. You have that in the written testimony as well. The effect that these takeovers and these acquisitions have on the small business community that either supply those large companies or they provide goods and services to their employees. And, you know, for me, and Minnesota's had some instances of the inversion issue, but consider as an example, I mean, if you have a Minnesotan who loses her job when a company is actually forced to move their headquarters to another country because they have a lower corporate tax rate, more competitive international tax system, just because she ends up not going to work for the day, she's not going to stop on her way necessarily to the local Dunn Brothers coffee shop to get her coffee and her muffin. That might be a $5 expenditure. She may not be stopping after work to pick up her dry cleaning at the Pilgrim Dry Cleaners. So that might be $25 right there at the local dry cleaners. She's probably not going to be picking up her children from the New Horizon daycare facility, which in Minnesota could be about $60, $64 a day. And then she may not be dropping off her husband to pick up the car that was left for an oil change overnight at Bobby and Steve's Auto World. And that could be $40. And then finally, maybe on the way home, she's not going to stop at the Cub Foods to purchase extra groceries that would be used either for dinner or they may not be going out to dinner for $20. So you add up that money and it's about $154, maybe just in that one day, you know, a very busy day. And obviously if you're to spread those activities out even over the course of a few days and to multiply it by hundreds of other employees that may be negatively impacted by losing their job from a large headquartered company, we're talking about lots of other Main Street Minnesota small businesses in the supply chain missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars every week. And even in an economy like Minnesota, that's actually doing pretty well. This would be a really big hit. And while this is only a hypothetical example, I think the whole issue of inversions and acquisitions and companies relocating overseas is very real, and your testimony absolutely describes that. You know, you think about 51 U.S. or American companies moving or being reincorporated outside the United States since 1982, but 20 of those have happened just since 2012. We've had 3 more announcements just in the first month of this year. And our tax code's not kept pace with the modern economy. So it's not only about keeping the headquarters that provide these good paying jobs, but for me it's about the Dunn Brothers, the Bobby's and Steve Auto World, and others that rarely come up in these conversations that I think we need to focus on and keep the attention on. So I want to compliment the chairman for the hearing and make sure we don't leave job growth on the table as we move forward. And thank you for your testimony today.
Thank you, Mr.